Okay, cool. So let's talk about getting a pop here. This is a strategy you taught me, you shared with me that I actually immediately implemented that got 300 followers on my Instagram profile. So talk me through the Tim Ferriss strategy.
Yeah, this is so smart. So Tim Ferriss, for people that are not familiar, he wrote the best-selling book, The 4-Hour Workweek. So Tim has sort of built his brand around life hacks.
Yep.
Like, how can we get a lot of results in a little amount of time? The 4-Hour Workweek is a great book for anyone that hasn't read it. But he did the 4-Hour Body, the 4-Hour Chef. Like, that's his brand now. And so I find myself reading Tim Ferriss's blog quite a bit, and he has a great podcast too. And so I was reading an article the other day, and it was one of these, like, here's our most clicked email newsletter links all year. It was like basically saying, hey, and he was looking at 2018. In 2018, these are the links that got the most clicks in our email marketing all year.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the list and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, I think it was 5 out of the top 10 were Instagram links. And I'm like, that is so fascinating. Like, I've always thought about driving somebody to a link on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you obviously drive people to links to your website. But I had never seen anybody, like, in an email blast make the link to Instagram the primary call to action. And it was clearly working.
Yeah.
Like, it was clearly working for Tim because he does so much email marketing over the course of the year that he had a lot of different, like, newsletters to pick from. So, Jimmy, you used my tactic against me.
Yes, I did.
But to be clear, we have never even used this tactic for me yet. But talk people about the email. Read it to them. Tell them how to do it.
Yeah,
This
sure.
is easy.
So pay close attention to the subject line here. I say I want to follow you on Instagram. I didn't say I want you to follow me on Instagram. It is, when you think about marketing, it is all about the 4 most important words of marketing, Chris, the best for me. I made it about them. I said, all right, hey, it's time for both of us to step up our game. Here's what I want you to do. And again, I'm getting right into the call to action. I'm being very specific so they know exactly what I want them to do next. Follow me on Instagram. That directly links back over to me. And then I tell them, hey, reply to me as soon as you do, and I'll follow you back. Now, I told them to reply to me because I didn't want to have to go through and follow everyone. If you're going to take the time to reply to me, I'll take the time to follow you back. And in typical real estate fashion, by the way, people were sending me like their 5 handles, not just one. They're like, follow me here and here and here and here. But then I talk about, hey, this is why you should follow me. I'm going to be sharing advice on marketing and sales and branding and all that. And then I get into the last line here. I said, let's get it. And Chris, when you look at Jimmy, where do you think I linked that to? Because that's a link.
Yeah, that you should have linked that to your Instagram handle.
I linked it to my Instagram handle. This is something we call passive linking. It's a technique we coach all of our clients on, which is having multiple links that go to the same destination. And then I got an outrageous amount of comments on the last PS here, which has helped me get more followers than Chris, so I can start every meeting by saying I'm qualified to make this decision. So people love that. You're able to joke with them. But you just gave me an idea as you're coaching this, Chris. I think if you post something on an Instagram as an exclusive, like a listing, we'll talk about that a little bit later, like you can go back to the well on this idea.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just one of those things where people like clicking on links they trust. And people trust Instagram. And so even with Tim, when he was using it, you're absolutely right. He would be like, oh my God, we just listed this property. It is absolutely stunning. That it's so beautiful that we felt like it was Instagram worthy. Click here to check it out on Instagram. And then you can do a deep link. So instead of linking to your profile like you did, you could just click on a post and grab the kind of longer link.
Dude, it just pulls you in. If you think about that concept, like
Jimmy,
you just post this on Instagram.
Over 300 followers immediately for you.
Yeah. It was a 10 or it's like a 15% bump on my Instagram following, which is,
and by the way, anytime this is like black magic a little bit here, Jimmy. But anytime you can get a high click-through rate and a high reply rate, that is the mecca. That is very hard to do. So props to you for executing this idea. I can't wait to see more people try it.